All right, a few of these items today are going to have a common ingredient, which is going to be our grated cheese and our breadcrumbs. The first thing we'll do is the polpetti. And for you that don't have an Italian dictionary in front of you, polpetti means meatball. Very simple, very delicious. For that, we just put some ground pork in a bowl. We have some ground beef. And we're going to be adding some some grated cheese. No, probably about start off with about 1/4 cup. We're going to put some garlic. Have to have that garlic in there. The garlic, I'm going to put about 1 tablespoon. We're going to break an egg or two and put it right inside the mix. And we'll put a second egg in here, get it nice and moist. Now we'll put a little bit of breadcrumb. Now the breadcrumb, when you put it in the mixture, you want to pre-moisten it. We're going to put a little water in here. Because if you don't, it's difficult for the breadcrumbs to really break down and get soft. And you'll have a crunch in your meatball, which you don't want. So here's our breadcrumb. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. Mix it up as so. Get it nice and moist. We don't want crunchy meatballs inside. Yeah, that's good. So now we have our breadcrumb. And the last item is going to be some parsley. Some nice fresh parsley. Now, let's break a little bit off here. This is all pre-washed. Let's finely chop some up. And when you're chopping, always have your fingers curled so you don't cut your fingers off with whatever you're chopping up. Yeah, that parsley smells real good. And it looks good too. And there we are. Now we're just going to dig in and have fun mixing up the meatballs. For adding the salt and pepper. Always mix up everything before because there's some natural salt that's in there with the cheese and the breadcrumbs are flavored. So we'll give it a good mix and then we'll see if we need any salt and or pepper. We have our garlic in there. There's a lot going on. That's why meatballs are one of the most popular Italian dishes. Everybody loves meatballs. Whether it's spaghetti or in a sandwich, on a side dish. They're delicious even plain without being simmered in a tomato sauce. And that's about it. So what I'm going to do is just try a little for the salt and the pepper taste. Boy, really good. I'm a good cook. I'm going to add just a pinch of salt. But before I do that, let me wash my hands off. Boy, that is good. That really woke up my appetite. Sea salt from Sicily. Put a touch of pepper. Just mix that pepper in there. And that's it. We're all set to start frying now. Okay, now we have our heat on, our nice fry pan. We're going to put some oil in here. I'm using a canola oil today because it has a high burn temperature. It's not an oil that'll burn very easily. So we get that in there. We want to get our oil hot. And that's another secret. Whenever you're putting oil in a fry pan, and no matter what you're cooking, that has to be hot because you want to hear that sizzle when you put it in. Otherwise, if you put it in too early, too much oil is going to get absorbed in whatever you're cooking, and it's going to tend to really stick and not be easy to maneuver. So now let's get our meatballs. Put them right over here to save a little walking time. And all we're going to do is just make them to whatever size we wish. Just making like a little ball here. I don't know if that's hot enough, but we'll just... All right, we're starting to get a sizzle. Very good. So now it's just a matter of being a kid again and making some snowballs. Only this time they're going to be delicious meatballs. And after a while when you do this, the meat is going to tend to get a little sticky. That's why I have a cup of water over here where you'll put your hands in the water to loosen up all the stickiness and you can continue. So it's just a matter of rolling up the meatballs, putting them in. We want to get a nice brown on them. Now, unless you're going to eat them directly out of the pan, you do not want to cook these meatballs through 100% because you want to finish them off by simmering in a delicious tomato sauce that you have prepared, and they'll finish up that way. But if you're just going to eat them this way, just cook them through and that's it. Enjoy. You hear that sizzle now? Even the sound of the sizzle gets you hungry, in the mood. And here we are. The meatballs are finished. They look and smell delicious. I can hardly wait to eat them. Now we'll just plate them. Now I think to maybe save a little time, we'll try to expedite it here. Oh, that's hot. Now I'm going to save this delicious cooking oil that the meatballs were in with the bits of meatball. And when I make my sauce for the meatballs, I'll incorporate some of this oil with all that flavor and the bits of the meatballs.